With the introduction of a 4-day workweek bill, what could this mean for graphic designers in the industry? Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, hi! My name is Jenny, and I help creatives organize their work using Notion. On March 1st, Representative Mark Takano introduced the 32 Hour Workweek Act, a bill to reduce the standard work week from 40 hours per week to 32 hours per week, or 4 8-hour days. That bill would change the Fair Labor Standards Act of 1938, which set the 5-day, 40-hour work week for many workers. And to give you some context, the term graphic design made its very first mention in relation to our work in 1920. But the 32-Hour Workweek Act wouldn't be the very first time the work week has been reduced. In 1926, Ford Motor Company is one of the first companies in America to adopt a 5-day, 40-hour week for workers in its automotive factories. Henry Ford's theory was that by reducing the work week from 6 to 5 days will not only promote the ideal home life for their employees, but also make people more productive with reduced time. And now that the 32-Hour Workweek Act is on the table, let's consider how a shorter work week could impact the graphic design industry. And while there are some potential drawbacks, there are a lot of benefits to a 4-day work week for graphic designers. So let's explore some of those benefits in detail. The first benefit I'm going to talk about is that the less available time you have to complete your work, the more focus you have. And it's the same reason why we tend to get laser focused around our deadline, so that by reducing our work week, we only have 4 days a week to complete all of our tasks, making it so that the time we spend at work is increasingly important. And even by knowing that you have a job that prioritizes the 4-day work week, you can sense a commitment to your own well-being, making it so that you want to bring more of your best self whenever you come to work every day. Another benefit that a 4-day work week can offer is improved work-life balance. And this means that the demands of our career are equal to the demands of our personal life. And this can look differently to you depending on where you are exactly in your life right now. But as we all have competing attentions to pursue different areas of responsibility, such as our friends, our family, significant others, our home, our communities, our work, even other creative skills, being able to have an additional day to the weekend makes it easier for you to dedicate time to make significant progress in each of these different areas. Another benefit to a 4-day work week would be reduced stress and burnout. Because many of my one-on-one coaching clients already struggle with being overwhelmed in accomplishing what they want to do in a given week, among the solutions to help make our work more accomplishable or easier to get done, we can do one of two things, and that is to reduce the scope of our deliverable or give us more time in our deadlines. If a reduced week becomes the norm everywhere, people would hypothetically revisit what is actually doable in 4 days, reducing the scope of our work each week and making them all the more achievable. Another benefit this would offer for graphic designers is that we would have more time for creative-driven pursuits or skills. As professional graphic designers, we run the risk and the mistake of expecting all of our work to be fun for us or exciting for us. This is something we can't expect to find in all of the products we find ourselves doing in order to make income, because the reality is that our job is in response to a market or what people are asking of us. So having an extra day would make it so we're able to explore more passion projects that can be more exciting or help us learn or grow the skills that our clients may not be willing to trust us with just yet. So while these benefits would make any of us really excited to adopt a 4-day work week, it's important to consider the potential drawbacks as well. Here are a few potential changes to keep in mind. There would be a potential decrease in income. Now, this is largely for the freelancers out there that charge hourly or daily, but a reduced work week would mean losing 8 hours or 1 day of potential income. So for companies, they may take on a similar approach by reducing employees' salary, but there are some companies out there that are already experimenting with reducing the work week to 4 days without reducing salary. So it really depends on who is adopting these practices and what their approach might be. This may be an argument to strive for value-based pricing instead, just so that you're not impacted by time and being penalized for being able to be faster and still accomplishing the same value of work. Another potential challenge is difficulty with scheduling and deadlines. So if you already have problems with understanding how to minimize the scope of your work, that problem may be amplified with fewer days to accomplish things. Many of my clients struggle balancing the number of meetings they have with the actual work that they need to create. And by reducing the work week across the board, companies would have to be mindful of how the approach to work will also be impacted. Meaning, are you going to cut meetings in proportion to the amount of time that they have? Because otherwise you won't have time to do the work and get what you need to get done. With the 4-day work week, there is also a possible negative impact on team collaboration. One of the main difficulties for reducing a work week is there may be a risk of exactly which day you're going to be reducing it down to, because the company alter agents try to bring in a 4-day work week, allowing their own employees to pick which day of the week they get to have off. And in their post survey, they discovered that their health and mental health actually declined since the beginning of the experiment because their work was becoming more complicated trying to schedule time with each other. And if you're working with someone like a producer, art director, or a client, and they're out for the weekend, it doesn't really help you very much when you're waiting on someone else to help you move your work forward. So now that we have explored the potential benefits and drawbacks of a 4-day work week for graphic designers, let's take a closer look at how to implement this approach. Step 1 might be to set up your projects and tasks so you're able to decide how you will prioritize one over the other in the upcoming week. So that way you're going into your day-to-day every single day this week and you're able to know exactly what's going to be accomplished without needing to come to your desk and not know exactly what is the focus for your week and what is due and what needs to get done. The next thing you can do is communicate any risks or dependencies that will be crucial to your deliverables at the beginning of your projects. That way you don't have to wait until you really need something to start asking for it. Doing this also makes it so that if someone doesn't get you what you need, you've already communicated to them how this will impact the project so that there are no surprises if something is delayed, if they don't get something to you that was very important. The next thing is building efficient habits like focusing on one task at a time, muting notifications, and documenting your progress will make it so that you're making the most of a reduced work week. By following these suggestions, you can successfully transition to a 4-day work week and reap the benefits that it can provide. So a 4-day work week has both its benefits and drawbacks for graphic designers, and while it may improve work-life balance, reduce stress and burnout, provide more time for our creative pursuits, but it could also potentially result in a decrease of income, difficulty with scheduling and deadlines, and negative impacts on our collaboration with others. So by implementing effective prioritization, communicating your needs, and building efficient habits, this can make the transition to a 4-day work week successful. As the feature of our work week continues to evolve, it's important to consider how we can embrace these changes in our own creative process so that we can continue to do our best work. If you want to learn how I approach setting goals in my work that could be helpful when navigating and prioritizing your tasks in a 4-day work week, check out this step-by-step guide on how I do it, and I will see you in the next video.